very good, project, and you've done, a very nice study to, begin this project. So thank you a lot.
I just want to go back a bit. Okay, there was a point that I forgot to make when the team that was doing the Virunga Artisans project was presenting their methodology. Don't promise things you can't deliver on. Believe me, you won't be able to do any regression analysis from the data you get. It's going to be very hard. Because Virunga Artisans is weavers who have no data. So be very careful when you start thinking of such things. Even though Dr. Zhang and I like regression analysis, we know when to use it. So don't use a sledgehammer to break open a peanut. Okay, so that's one, but for your group, I wanted to say that this was very good progress since 11:30 last night.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. It was fantastic.
1 a.m.
Yeah, but that's, it was kind of late. So very good progress, very well done. I think you got the hook very well done. I thought the hook was really nice. It was appreciated by Dr. Zahn.
Next time it'll come out very well.
Yeah. So we got the hook in. So we got her. So Dr. Zahn was being dragged along. Okay. Then I think also you did a good job in trying to connect things, and that was good. And I agree completely with Dr. H. Yours was very sparse in words, but the words meant something. Of course, that's subject to a big proviso now, which I'll point out to you. First of all, Times New Roman is not a good font, so kill it, okay, or whatever this is. It could be Arial or Times New Roman, one of those two. Kill it, because it looks like something out of it looks like pica, if you ever remember pica in the old days. So we'll use a better font, okay, because you've got a nice clean slide but a poor font. So we'll improve the font, okay.
Which
so
one do
we'll
you
look at
recommend us using?
Oh, there's many, okay. So we'll show you some. And you can see the best way to do is to go to an old presentation. That's why you have SMC MBA, and steal.
Okay, we'll steal then.
Yeah, something looks good, steal it. The font is font, right? Something that looks good, take it. That's why it's there. That's why we offered it. Okay? Don't reinvent the wheel. If you've got good research questions that are in for example, for the study that's the long stay study, if the research questions in the TAT study, the Tourism Authority of Thailand study, are good, take them. There's no harm in looking, why reinvent the wheel? If you make the decision on whether these questions make sense, and then take them and develop other questions, right? So that's one thing that I think you ought to do with what you're doing. Now, can you go back a bit? So there's only 2 or 3 minor points that I have. I agree with Dr. H completely on the cultural issue. Stop here for a moment. But the culture issue, you ought to resolve that very early. So please pay attention. Don't get starry-eyed about culture, because you're solving a problem for these young girls, and that's your focus. And they will solve that problem locally in the best way possible. You're trying to provide them with alternatives. So worry about the culture issue first, and then solve them, and then get to the issue. Now, on this particular piece, on each one of the research methodologies till now, it is too simplistic. We need to do a little bit deeper of thinking. So everyone go back. There was only one group that had enough detail, but go back to the research methodology examples we have sent you and work through them, because this is a very critical part. If you're doing just this, your client's going to say, wow, I could have done that with the local high school, right? We want to show you the sophistication of what you guys have done, or you people have done, excuse me, okay? Again, don't look at the screen as much as you do. Pay attention to handovers. They're very important. There was, for example, the handover between John and Aurora was non-existent, and then we didn't know what Aurora was doing. She just started reading. Now, it's a good idea, as Dr. Zhang said earlier on, that each person, Aurora, you did a great job with everybody's bio, but it's better to let them do the bio, because you know yourselves better. And I would suggest condensing, even though last night we discussed that all those things are important. So there's a short way of saying it. You don't take a whole slide for it, because you'll find there's an hour and 30 minutes to present. If you have more than 80 slides, you're going to struggle. And every slide you add, you struggle. Okay?
Okay.
So be careful about that. Just a prior warning. And by the way, 80 is no magic number. People do 105, people do it in 120, but they all do it in time. Again, I agree with Dr. H. You need to increase the amount of material in some places. The research questions to me were all over the map. We've got to really work on that. And I agree with Dr. Z's suggestion that we just take one part of that matrix and blow that one portion up as an example.
Okay.
And we present it, and then we say we've got a whole research matrix out there. That's what I intended when I made that comment yesterday.
Okay.
Okay? Then posture is very important. Okay, you were standing like this. That's a no-no. Let me talk to you about posture. All the teams. Okay. One of the things is face the audience. Your body should be strong. So shoulders. I've got a bad posture.